Creepy true boardwalk horror stories. The Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk looked magical under the summer twilight, its neon lights reflecting off the Pacific Ocean like scattered jewels. I'd come here every summer since I was a kid, but this visit, August 2017, would be the last time I'd ever set foot on those weathered planks. My name is Tommy Brennan, and I was 19 that summer, working at the arcade to save money for college. The boardwalk had always felt alive to me. The screams from the Giant Dipper roller coaster, the smell of funnel cakes and salt air, the constant motion of crowds seeking thrills and escape from their ordinary lives. But there was something different about that August. Something wrong. It started with a fortune teller. Madame Zara's booth had been tucked between the shooting gallery and the ring toss for as long as I could remember. She was ancient, with silver hair piled high and fingers heavy with tarnished rings. Most people thought she was just part of the boardwalk's kitschy charm, reading palms for tourists who wanted a fun story to tell. I'd never paid her much attention until the night she grabbed my wrist as I walked past. "You," she said, her voice like gravel scraping against glass. "You see them, don't you?" "See what?" I tried to pull away, but her grip was surprisingly strong. The ones who never left. The ones who died here. Her milky eyes fixed on mine. They're getting restless. Something's coming. Something that will open the door wide. I laughed nervously and pulled free. Thanks to the creepy fortune, but I'm good. She didn't let go of my gaze. The boy who drowned in 1962. The girl who fell from the sky glider in 1978. The man who had a heart attack in the funhouse in 1994. They walk these boards every night, waiting. And now they're not alone in them all. I hurried away, her words following me like a cold wind. I told myself she was just a con artist trying to spook the college kid. But that night, after my shift ended at midnight, I saw something that made my blood run cold. The boardwalk was closed, the crowd's gone, just security making their rounds. I was cutting through to get to the employee parking lot when I saw a little boy standing by the Neptune's Kingdom entrance. He was soaking wet, water pooling at his feet, wearing old-fashioned swim trunks, the kind from the 1960s. "Hey, kid," I called out. "The boardwalk's closed. Where are your parents?" He turned to look at me, and my breath caught. His eyes were completely white, no pupils, no iris, just blank white marbles in a pale, bloated face. "I'm waiting," he said in a voice that sounded like it was coming from underwater. "We're all waiting. It's almost time." I blinked, and he was gone. The puddle of water remained, slowly seeping between the boardwalk's planks. I ran to my car and sat there shaking for 20 minutes before I could trust myself to drive. When I got home, I researched drownings at the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. I found it immediately. Timothy Weston, age 8, drowned while swimming near the boardwalk in July 1962. His body wasn't found for 3 days. The next night, I saw more of them. A teenage girl in a 1970s outfit, standing at the base of the sky glider, looking up with a broken neck bent at an impossible angle. An older man in the funhouse, clutching his chest, his face purple, trying to say something I couldn't hear through the glass. They were everywhere once I started looking. Translucent figures moving through the crowds, invisible to everyone but me. And they all had the same look, desperate, frightened, waiting for something. I went back to Madame Zara. "You see them now," she said before I could speak. It wasn't a question. What's happening? Why can I suddenly see them? She gestured for me to sit. The veil between worlds is thin as hair. This place has seen so much joy and so much tragedy. All that energy, all those emotions, they soak into the wood, into the very foundation. The dead are drawn to it. Usually they are just echoes, harmless. But every century or so, something tears a bigger hole, and things come through. What kind of things? Her expression darkened. Things that feed on fear. Things that wear the faces of the dead to lure the living. It's starting tonight. The August new moon. The convergence. That's insane. This is just... Your friend Marcus, she interrupted. The one who works the Giant Dipper. Tell him not to run the midnight test ride tonight. Tell him to go home. My blood went cold. Marcus was scheduled to do the safety check tonight, the test run they did before opening each morning. How do you know about Marcus? Because I can see his death if he gets on that coaster. I can see all the death that will happen if this door fully opens. Please, trust me, keep him away. I should have dismissed her as crazy, but I'd seen the ghosts. I'd felt the wrongness in the air. So I called Marcus. Dude, you can't do the test run tonight, I said, trying to keep the panic out of my voice. What? Why not? Just trust me. Please. Colin's sick. Something's wrong with the coaster, I think. Just don't go. Marcus laughed. Did Zara get to you? Man, she tells everyone some version of this story. It's her whole thing. I'm fine, Tummy. Stop worrying. He hung up. I tried calling back, but he didn't answer. At 11:45 p.m., I was back at the boardwalk, climbing the fence, running toward the Giant Dipper. The old wooden roller coaster loomed against the night sky like a skeleton. I could hear the mechanical groaning as the car climbed the first hill for the test run. Marcus was alone in the front car, doing the safety check, when I saw them. Dozens of ghostly figures, lined up along the track, their hands outstretched, reaching for the coaster. And standing at the peak of the first drop was something else, something that looked human from a distance but was fundamentally wrong. Its proportions were off, its movements too fluid, its smile too wide. Marcus! I screamed, "Get off! Get off now!" But it was too late. The car crested the hill and began its descent. I watched in horror as the thing at the top reached out and touched the track. The wood splintered. The car lurched. And Marcus, my friend Marcus, went flying into the darkness, his scream cut short by a sickening crunch. The ghostly figures vanished. The thing at the top of the coaster turned to look at me, and I saw its true face, a swirling void where features should be hungry and endless. Then it was gone, and I was alone with the sound of alarms and the rushing of security guards. Marcus died that night. The official report said structural failure, a tragic accident, decades old with finally giving way. They shut down the Giant Dipper for 6 months for a complete rebuild. But I knew the truth. I quit the next day. Before I left, I went to see Madame Zara one final time. Her booth was empty, but there was a note pinned to the curtain with my name on it. You have the sight now. It will never leave you. The door closed when he died. The thing needed a death to anchor it, to pull it through completely. Your friend's death sealed the door before it could fully open. He saved hundreds without knowing it. The dead are quiet again, for now, but the boardwalk remembers everything. Tummy, and it never forgets. One day, it will call you back. When it does, you'll need to be ready. I never found out what happened to Madame Zara. The booth was rented to a new tenant the following week, and no one I talked to remembered a fortune teller named Zara. I woke up to find my phone buzzing with a text from an unknown number. The boardwalk remembers. August new moon. 3 days. We need you. I looked it up. The new moon is in 3 days, and I can feel it, that same wrongness I felt 7 years ago, but stronger now, reaching across the distance, pulling at something deep inside me. Marcus saved hundreds when he died. But what if his death only delayed the inevitable? What if the thing that killed him is coming back, and this time the door will open completely? I've been researching, trying to understand what I saw, what I'm seeing. There are stories, scattered across decades, of strange occurrences at boardwalks and piers across the country. Places where the veil is thin, where joy and tragedy mix, where the boundary between worlds grows permeable. And they're all experiencing the same thing right now: increased paranormal activity, structural failures, accidents that defy explanation, as if something is testing the barriers, looking for the weakest point to break through. I think the Santa Cruz Boardwalk is that weak point. I think whatever came through 7 years ago is trying again, and I think I'm the only one who can see it coming. So I'm going back. In 3 days, on the August new moon, I'll return to the place where my friend died, to the boardwalk that has haunted my dreams for 7 years. I don't know what I'll find there. I don't know if I can stop what's coming, but I know I have to try. Because Madame Czar was right about one thing: the boardwalk never forgets. And neither do I. If you're reading this and I don't update, if I disappear always, know this: stay away from boardwalks and piers on the new moon. If you see ghostly figures where they shouldn't be, if you feel that wrongness in the air, if someone with a sight warns you to leave, listen. The places where we seek joy and escape, where thousands of people have laughed and screamed and lived their happiest moments, those places remember everything: the good and the bad, the living and the dead. And sometimes the dead aren't the scariest things walking those boards. Sometimes the scariest things are the ones that come through the cracks, wearing the faces of the dead, feeding on our fear and our joy in equal measure. The things that wait for the perfect moment, when the veil is thinnest and the door can be opened wide. I'll face whatever's waiting for me on that boardwalk. For Marcus, for all the others who died there, for all the people who walk those boards every day, unaware of what lurks beneath the laughter and lights. The boardwalk is calling me home. And this time, I'm answering. Wish me luck. I'm going to need it.